Yes, I think it was 9 degrees there yesterday, and the wind chill was like -12. It was terrible. I'm so happy I'm here. So I've been speaking to ProMatch since, what, 2007? No, 2006 maybe.
But we don't bring you all that often because, again, she is in such high demand. It's like I picked up the phone and I said, would you call? We need you.
Well, I haven't been here in 4 years, but I did come in 2006 and a few times after that. So I haven't been in 2006, or since in about 4 years. And since then, I did this bike ride that I'm going to tell you all about. I rode across country, and so we created a documentary, and I'm going to show you a trailer when you get back from your break, and we're going to talk about what it means to be remarkable in your lives and make you all more remarkable than you are already. I love this group. I'm thrilled that you guys invited me, and I can't wait to see you in 15 minutes. So hurry back.
All right, so in 15 minutes, please.
On a mission. 9 strategies for taking life by the horns. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Are we ready?
Yes.
And you know, there's a whole lot that this woman brings to the table in terms of what she does, and she's going to be telling you her story. But what she really is good at is sort of interpreting for us how we get in our own way. Am I speaking to anybody in the room right now?
No, none of it.
All right, so please give it up for Ann Tardy.
Lower.
Life Moxie presents the Moxie Ride. Journey across the country, a lifetime goal realized. 4,200 miles, 67 days, 11 states, 2 bicycles, 1 RV, 1 filmmaker, 1 entrepreneur, from San Francisco to New Jersey. Endless possibilities. Our goal, to arrive safely, and along the way, feel the professional pulse of the country, searching for evidence of the Life Moxie message and beauty from coast to coast. We discovered what makes people tick in their day-to-day workplace, bursting with experiences, stories, and new friends. From farmers to a garbage collector, from a firefighter to a construction flagger, from mountains to canyons, from red rocks to the Great Plains, from a pastor to a hairdresser. We discovered people who want to make a difference and affirmed their Moxie spirit. Learning what motivates them, understanding how they conquer obstacles, inspiring us to conquer our own. Let's ride.
All right. So that dream, okay, good. So that dream started 20 years ago. I was living in Chicago. I was in law school, just about finishing law school. I was trying to figure out what to do with the rest of my life. And I didn't have a car, so I rode my bike everywhere, and I loved it. How many of you love to ride a bike? Love riding bikes? It's the greatest feeling, isn't it? It's just getting on that bike and seeing the world. I love bike riding. So I was in this what's next in my life phase, and I saw an advertisement for a ride across America. So I called my mom, and I said, Mom, I'm thinking of riding across the country instead of taking the bar exam. Yeah, that was kind of the same expression she had. So she said, and she's always put up with my antics, always, and she said, Ann, enough, take the bar. So I said, okay, so I put that dream on the shelf, and I said, someday I will ride across the country. And I said, someday, 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 and it was just one of those things. How many of you have some days? Right? Someday when we have enough time, money, when we know how to do things, when the whole thing's aligned, we will do whatever we want to do. So then I turned 40, And I looked around and I said, whoa, what happened in the last 20 years? How come I didn't ride across the country? So I decided I needed to do it. And, but it had to be on a little bit different terms. So I didn't call my mom and ask permission. And I decided I needed to do it my way. I didn't want to camp. I don't like sleeping on the ground. I didn't want to carry my stuff, you know, those warriors who have all those panniers. Yeah, I didn't want to do that either. I wanted someone else to carry my stuff. And I also wanted it to have some meaning to my work, to the things that I do. If I was going to take 2 months out of my life and out of my business, I wanted to do something more than just ride across the country. I wanted to discover some things. And I work with organizations and managers. I love managers so much. I think they are the core of the organization. They make it all happen. And I just don't understand why everyone hates their job all the time, right? So everyone, they talk about they hate their job. Everyone hates their job. People talk about that, but they never talk about people who love their job. Right? We never hear that. So I thought, well, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to find people who love their job. That was the whole point. I said, okay, let's do that. So I bought an RV, right? Because they have mattresses. and they plug in. So I bought an RV. I wrapped it with the company name and the book covers. And then I hired a film student, a guy right out of film school who could create the whole documentary and drive the RV. So 2 in 1 there. So we set off. And the RV, I don't know if you saw that, it says, America, tell us why you love your job, okay? So, day 1, we kick it off. I got all my friends and family around me. And I said, oh, this is great, we're starting, I'm so excited. And there's my cousin Lynn. Now, Lynn's a flight attendant. Lynn runs this other company with her husband. She does a lot of great things, and she's always adventurous and loves the world. I said, Lynn, you be the first one we interview. Tell us, why do you love your job? And she goes, oh, I don't love my job. I go, what? And then I went to the next friend of mine. I said, you tell us why you love your job. And she goes, oh, I don't love my job. All day this happened. People would say, I don't love my job. Oh, this documentary's going to suck. I can't get this off the ground with the people I know and love. Okay. I said, all right, come on, you guys. There's got to be something you love about your job. And they said, oh, sure. I love that I solve problems. I love the people. I love our clients. And so then I realized, luckily, very quickly, on day 1, I needed to change the question. It wasn't, why do you love your job? It's, what do you love about your job? And the minute I changed the question, everybody had something to answer. Everybody had an answer for me. Even the garbage collector, Ed Lane, on one of the hottest days in New Jersey, when he's thinking, why am I here? And I said, Ed Lane, come on. You are a garbage collector. Nobody thinks you love your job. Nobody wants to be a garbage collector. Tell us, what do you love about your job? And he had a list of things. 18 years, worked in a great team in Raritan, loved the people he worked with, loved his customers, loved mentoring the new guys that are coming on the team. I know you're thinking, really? And he did. He was the nicest guy. But the question has to be shifted, right? And that's the big deal. What do you love about your job? Okay, so then we created the documentary, and the whole thing went down. Let me tell you what happens after you pull a someday off the shelf. Guess what happened the day after the ride was over? Well, let me just tell you also that, to back this up, is the ride, there was never a day I did not want to be on that bike. Never a day when I said, gosh, can't wait for this to be over. Never a day. I loved every single minute of it. So what happened the day after it was over? Oh, I crashed hard. I crashed hard. My family didn't like me at all. And I was like this for about 2 weeks, and then I said, oh, geez, I've got to do something to get me out of this rut. I have nothing in front of me. So I said, oh, well, maybe I should create another ride. And so I did, and so last summer we went from Key West up to Maine. And then I got back in a good mood because I had something I was aiming for, and I had another thing that I was gearing up for. So I just find that I need those things out there. I need something to look forward to. So, all right, so here's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about the remarkable in you. The things that I know, I'm up here telling you my story, but you've got your own story. You've got things that you were remarkable for. So I want first for you to write down on the sheet. I got 2 sheets for you. The first one is a white one for you to hang on to. The yellow one, I've got 3 of my books here, and I'm going to give them away. So the yellow one is just ways that we can keep in touch if you want to. So you can fill it out and rip it off, and we'll take it at the end, and I'll give away some books. But the white sheet is for you to write down all the great strategies we're going to talk about. So first, I want you to write down a someday, something that's on the shelf for you. Something that's sitting there like, oh, someday I'm going to learn to play saxophone. That was mine one day. Someday I'm going to travel to Ireland. Someday I'm going to learn language. What is it? What's your someday? Put some someday down there. Pardon me? Oh, whatever you'd like. If you have more than one, you can put more than one down. It's fine. Okay, now I want you to write down, does everyone have a someday? All right, so now I want you to write down a remarkable. Sometime in your life when you say, oh, that was me, when you look back and you go, who was I? You just picked up after school and moved somewhere else, went to travel Europe after school, asked somebody out on a date, whatever you did that you go, whoa, that was me being totally remarkable. And let me just preface this also by saying, I don't want you to compare your remarkable to my remarkable. I don't want you to compare it to the person next to you. It's your life, it's not mine, it's not the person next to you. If you think it's remarkable and you felt remarkable, that's all that matters. Don't compare your life to me. Don't compare it to anybody out there that we look at on People magazine or Entertainment Tonight or all these people we see. Who cares? We gotta start comparing our lives to these people. You gotta live your own life, okay? So you write down when you last felt like, wow, here's something remarkable I did. You're like, it's been so long. I don't remember. All right, so I want you to turn to the person next to you, or 2 or 3 people here, and I want you to share, here is my remarkable. Don't worry about your someday. We don't need to get in that conversation. I just want you to see it on the shelf. Don't worry about the someday. I want you to just share the remarkable, okay? Now, let me give you, wait, hold on before we start. Does everyone know what I mean when I say laser-like? What do you think I mean by laser-like? To the point. Right? What do we do when we tell stories? We're like, oh, let me tell you all the details. Yeah, we don't have time for details, okay? So be like they do in New Jersey, right to the point, okay? My husband says, get to the verb. Get to the verb, okay? Don't worry about all that. Get right to the verb, okay? Because they want to tell their story too, and we got a lot of things to talk about, all right? I'll give you like a minute each. How about that? Okay, ready? Go.
All right. You first.
she projects. She's loud. Good. Yeah.
3 more seconds. 3 seconds. Okay, well, that was a lot of energy, right? A lot more fun to talk about the things that we do and that we love to do, right? And wow, that was me. Isn't that fun to talk about? Why do you think I show that all the time? I will show that video until I'm 75. Check me out, okay? It's fun. What'd you say?
What do you do at 76?
I don't know, maybe I'll do it again. I'm telling you, it's so much more fun talking about, like, wow, Chad, this is what I did, because the rest of the time, what are we talking about? Oh my gosh, and this happened, oh this happened, oh my gosh, and oh, it's just awful. I love it when people say to me, can I tell you a bad story? No. Especially if it's about animals, don't tell me anything bad about animals. No. Like, I don't want to hear it, it just brings me down. Right? This is so much more fun, isn't it? Like, whoa, when I was 17, this is what I did. I mean, we are cool people, and we have the remarkable already there. We just somehow, a few years got in the way and we forgot sometimes, right? Okay, so I want to hear from somebody. Somebody tell me you are remarkable. Somebody, yes.
When I was in my teens,
Okay.
I did volunteer work at the Bronx Veterans Hospital. I worked with quadriplegics and paraplegics and got them having running races down the corridors.
Awesome,
Got
awesome.
Got the paraplegics out and started basketball.
Nice.
Basketball.
Very nice. All right, awesome, awesome. Give me another one. Somebody else. Yes.
I sailed single-handed to Hawaii.
I'm sorry, you what?
I sailed single-handed to Hawaii.
To Hawaii, yeah, single-handed to Hawaii. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. I'll give you a DVD.
In a boat?
Someone on that side of the room. Yes.
I drove cross-country with my daughter as a single parent to start a new life in California.
Oh, isn't that great? All right, here you go. Very nice. Okay. All right, so you can see we have so many great things that we've done. We just have to remember them, right? And you can pull that someday off the shelf anytime you want. People would say, oh, right, cross country. Oh my gosh, how could you possibly take all those days off? You know how many days it took me? 67 days. Do you know how fast 67 days go by? Nobody, nothing happened to anybody. Nothing happened to my job, my clients, my family. Somehow my husband figured out the dog and the laundry without me. Like, life goes on. It all worked out. It was fine. But we go, oh, geez, I'm so busy. Oh my gosh, you have any idea? Yeah, I do have an idea. We're also busy. Right? But there's only 24 hours in a day, and you are not any busier than anyone else. Oh, we go, oh, geez, my life. I got it. But it's your life. That's the problem, right? We like leave those some days on the shelf, and then we, gosh, 10 years go by, and go, what happened? What happened to me, right? All right, so you can pull that someday off the shelf anytime you'd like. We're going to look at 6 strategies that you can use to do just that. All right? You have that white sheet in front of you. We're going to write these down. The first one is I want you to start with a battle cry. Start with a battle cry. This is the get you out of bed. This is the wake up. What am I going to be excited about today? This is the passion. This is the, oh my gosh, this is what I'm working on, and I don't care if anything gets in my way. I'm going. Right? That's the battle cry. It's the cry you yell out as you run onto the battlefield. You can take our land, but you cannot take our freedom. Who was that? Who was that? Braveheart. Thank you. Right? That's we're going, this is who we are, we're going to do this, and we're running out into the field no matter what gets in our way. All right? That's the battle cry. Now, we've all had this one time because you've done something no matter what. Like, I'm going to college, I'm moving to California, I'm doing whatever. This was your battle cry. At some point, you said, I'm going to sail to Hawaii, right? You had these. Because someone said, oh no, you can't do that. You know, we need you here. Who's gonna mow the lawn? Right? Who's gonna mow the lawn? Oh my gosh, how irresponsible of you. Right? Because how could you do that when I'm not doing that? Okay, but we've all had these battle cries. One of mine when I was, okay, so my mom put take the bar thing out there. I took the bar, and I decided I needed a change in my life. And I needed to move away. I needed to get out of Illinois. So I went to Chicago and I went to law school in Chicago. I needed to get away. One of the partners at the law firm that I was clerking at, he said to me one day, you know, the best thing I ever did is I moved away from home. And I thought, oh my gosh, I've never moved away from home. Like, it was almost someone said, hey, Ann, here's permission. I said, wow, cool. So I went home that day, and I remember the trip to San Francisco, my family and I took when I was 12, and that was 10 years early, and I called my mom and I said, I'm gonna move to California. And I just said it like that, and I made it happen. I never asked permission, I never thought about all the things that I need to do. I said, I'm moving to California. Now, that became my battle cry. Now, I needed a job. So I had to move out there. I didn't know anybody. Where was I going to work? But I thought, I'm just going to make it happen. So, you know, when the battle cry is really loud, you don't care about all these circumstances, right? Some of the circumstances work themselves out. So actually, I don't agree with that. I think we work the circumstances out. Okay, they don't work out somewhere over there. We work them out. So I said, I need to get a job. So I was maniacally focused. Now this is the day before the internet. So I went down to the grocery store and they had the Employment Weekly. Does anyone remember that paper called the Employment Weekly? Right? I took the Employment Weekly, I spread it out, and I said, okay, I need to look at all the jobs in California. And every job said, required 5 to 7 years experience. I said, I don't think they really mean that. So I wrote a letter to every single ad in there for a job in California. Now, the first thing I did though before this is I took an inventory. And I said, okay, so who am I? What am I good at? What do I have to offer? Well, I have an accounting degree. I passed the CPA. I have a law degree, and I passed the bar exam. Okay, so what do I have to offer? All right, so I can go to an accounting firm. That's what I thought. An accounting firm would want me right away. And I didn't know the law firms in California, so I was going for accounting. So I found all the accounting jobs. I wrote this letter, told them how great I am, how the team player I'd be, how I'm such an asset to you, blah, blah, blah. And I got how many rejections. And the letters would come back and say, thank you so much. Did you see the line that said need 5 to 7 years experience? And so I got a lot of rejections. And then I got one phone call, and it was from Pete Marwick, and they called and they said, hey, one of our recruiters is gonna be in Chicago, and you guys can have get together for dinner if that works for you. And I said, great. And the minute I got off that resume, that paper, now I was in person, right? Now we could have a conversation. And I met him for dinner, and we had a great conversation. He said, I'm going to bring you out to California, and you can meet the rest of the team. I said, fantastic. You know what I did after that? I called every one of the big 6 firms, and I said, hey, Pete Marwick's flying me out. I thought you might want to meet me too. I'll be in the area on this day. When can we schedule a meeting? And I got an interview with all the big 6, and I got an offer from all the big 6. And it just happened to be really sunny in San Jose that day, and I chose that one. And then the managing partner, Glenn Rossman, who's still a dear friend of mine, he talked about biking, and I said, oh, he's my boss. I'm going to work for him. That's how I picked my job. But it really was, I was so maniacally focused. I wasn't, oh, I wonder what they're going to think of me. Oh, geez, the circumstance, 5 to 7 years, I don't have that. I thought, I don't really care about that. I got to get to California. Okay? That's how you all are when you have that battle cry out there. When you have that thing that you want to do, you go, I don't care about circumstances or what you think or you think. What do I care? I got to get to California. Okay? That's what you need is a battle cry. I got to get there. Think of Melissa McCarthy. I got to get Okay, so that's what you need. You need that battle cry, okay? That thing that drives you every morning. You get up and go, what am I going to do about that thing today? All right? Okay, so that's the battle cry. Write down something. You don't have to, we're not going to share. Don't worry, you don't have to share. But write down something. What could be your battle cry? And here's the thing. Your battle cry will change. My battle cry is no longer, I gotta move to California. Okay, that's not it anymore. My battle cry one time was, I gotta ride my bike across the country. One time it was, I gotta write a book. One time it was, I'm getting married. There's lots of different battle cries for different times in your life, and it evolves and changes. And I actually think you can have many battle cries for your life at the same time. Okay, because there's a lot of things we want to work on. All right, so write down something that, wow, this could get you out of bed early. When I was writing my book, I was so maniacal. I gotta write my book. I got up every morning at 5:30 for 3 months straight. 5:38, I wrote my book at Starbucks every single morning. That's the kind of maniacal you want, okay? You want to be that excited about whatever you're working on. All right, so write down something, your battle cry. And we're not checking, you're not turning it in, don't worry. You're all in job search. I want your battle cry to be about the job, the company you want to work for, the career you want. I want it to be big. I don't want you to settle. The guy who was up here, there was a guy up here when you were doing the connections who said, that was my dream job. That's the company I want to work at. The brand manager guy. So he said, yeah, right? That's your battle cry. I want to work at that company. And you're going to figure out how to be different and stand out from everybody else who does exactly the way they're supposed to and send a resume through the, right? That's your thing. You got to get in there, okay? That's what you got to do is find that company, find that job, find the place you want to be, and you go, that's it. And that's your battle cry right now. All right, and then you get it, and you go, okay, what's my next one? Because you'll go, oh, geez, I accomplished that, now what? Like the bike ride, you go, oh, geez, now what? Okay, then you create the next one. All right, that's the battle cry. The second one is choose your channel. Choose your channel. Wow, it's kind of hot in here, isn't it? It's like steamy. We got excited. Okay, choose your channel is the second one. Now, I'm somewhere in the Great Plains in Colorado. I use the maps from American Cycling Association, Adventure Cycling Association. Okay, they map the whole entire country. If you have ever a desire to ride across any state, any part of the country, they're amazing. They map out the entire thing for you. As a result, everybody who rides across the country, we're using the same maps. And we pass each other, okay? Now, I'm not talking about thousands of people here. There's like a handful. But we're using the same map. So now we're riding along, and if you see someone coming the other way, you know, especially in the Great Plains, they're riding across the country, right? You're in the middle of nowhere. So the etiquette was you'd stop, and you'd talk to them across the street. Hey, where'd you come from? When did you leave? What did you see out there? How's it going? Okay? So I stop, the guy comes along, I stop. He is in a recumbent, and he has 2 big containers behind him of stuff. Because he didn't follow my rule of don't camp and don't carry your own stuff. So he's got that stuff and he's camping. Okay, so he's got this. He stops, we start chit-chatting, and he says, where's all your stuff? And I said, oh, did you see the RV? It was, the RV was always ahead of me. I said, did you see the RV? It's sitting out there. Oh, yeah. I said, yeah, so we're riding across the country, but he's got all the stuff. Oh. He says, you're the first cheater that I've met. Literally left me breathless for a moment, like, oh, socked me in the stomach, like, what? I mean, I didn't know there was a rule book about how to ride across country. So then I thought to myself, oh, well, look what he's doing. I go, so are you riding across country? He goes, oh, no, I'm just riding across Colorado. I go, oh, yeah, I'm about 2,200 miles in. I'm going all the way, okay? And I laughed. I'm like, oh, my gosh. But these are the people we listen to, right? Why do we listen to people? Why do we care what they think of us? I mean, it just slaps us, right? Like, oh, I'm a cheater? I I mean, it took me a minute till I regrouped myself. No, I'm not. How dare you? I'm not giving you permission to bring me down. Well, I grew up on a farm, and we did not have remote control. We had the walk up to the TV, click, 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 right? 3 stations, right? Click, 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 click. And we'd sit on the couch and we'd argue about whose turn it was to change the channel. I changed the channel last time. It's your turn to change the channel. And we'd fight about it. But what we didn't realize is the person who got up and did click, click, click controlled what we listened to. You want to be the click, click, click person, okay? You want the remote in your hand. You want to mute people, okay? Turn those people off. We have to be very, very careful about who we are listening to. And not just the people, but the information that comes in. I told my friends last year, I said, I'm on a Yahoo diet. I am tired of hearing about elephants getting slaughtered and people dying and all this stuff that comes up on Yahoo. It depresses me. It brings me down. And about 10 years ago, I swore off the magazines that told me about how great everyone in Hollywood was. I'm like, oh, my hair doesn't look like that. My body doesn't look like that. I don't have that kind of money. My life doesn't look like that. And I'd be all depressed by the end of the magazine. And I'm thinking, why am I reading this? So I swore that off. But it's no different than bad feedback. I used to, I give you yellow sheets right now and it says, hey, what did you like? What resonated? I used to give out sheets and say, hey, grade me. And then I'd come back and go, oh, someone gave me a 1. I'm like, oh my gosh, the rest are 5s. I got a 1. My mom would say, maybe they got it mixed up. That was great. And I'd walk around with a 1, like, they got a 1. Someone didn't like me. I swear we do this, right? We're having a great day. Everyone thinks you're amazing. And one person goes, and we go, oh, what? Yeah. What? Ah! And then we think, oh, you're right, I'll take that dream, I'll put it back on the shelf. It was stupid anyway. Right? Like, oh my gosh! We listen to these people, they call us cheaters, they give us 1s, and we're like down for the count. Right? We have to choose our channels far more wisely. You guys are here in ProMatch? I think ProMatch is like the yay sayer. Right? I love that you guys got up here and you say something and be like, connect me, interview me, yay, right? Like, that's great. I want to be in a place like that. I got a dog because I want someone to come run into the door and go, I love you. Right, I want to come into a place like this and like, yes, you're here, congrats, yay. Right, that's the kind of place you want to be, okay? You want to be sitting at home, wondering why it's you, okay? You've got to surround yourself with people and information that lifts you up constantly, that says, you're great. Short of that, mute them. All of them. All right. Write down for me somebody who's a yay sayer in your life. Somebody that no matter what Sunday's in that box, you say, I'm going to learn to play the saxophone. And they go, wow, what a great idea, Bob. As opposed to, that's kind of dumb, you're kind of old, Bob. There's not like high school band anymore, Bob, it's over. Right? You want somebody to go, Bob, that's great, I have a saxophone for you. Okay, so write down your yay sayer. Somebody who you go, yeah, I'm going to call them and they're going to say, yay. All right, write someone down. All right, we ready? Who wants this? Who wants this? Okay, who wants this?
I do.
Right
here.
Who wants this? Who wants this? Now, with confidence, right? And he also doesn't really care what you all think of him. Okay? Now, essentially, we all do. But when you are really maniacally focused on something, okay, that was just one moment. But he's maniacally focused on you showing up to the presentation class. He's coming up here going, guns don't kill people, people kill people! Right? Because he wants you to get how great the class is going to be, okay? He doesn't go, oh, they're going to think I'm weird. I'm not going to say that. We have a presentation class on Tuesday, come if you can. Like, he doesn't say that. He goes, people kill presentation! So, and that's what you want. He's maniacally focused, okay? So then, I hold up the DVD, and it's like, oh, I hope she calls on me, I hope she calls on me. Maybe I'll go really high. And he goes, wait, I want that. Wait, what am I waiting for? I want that thing, okay? The third strategy is be uncomfortable. I know, right? Be uncomfortable. We have to get out of that comfort zone. Because nothing great happens in the comfort zone. I'm telling you right now, nothing great. Now, I was writing the book, my very first book, and I told you I went to Starbucks every morning, 5:30 to 8, and one morning I actually had to get on a plane. And I thought, how am I possibly going to write? I got to get my book done, and this is my day, and this is my hour. I'm going to be in the back of the plane, because this was in the days before United loved me, and I was on the back of the plane. I thought, I'm going to open my computer, and the person in front of me is going to put the seat back, and it's going to be up my face. I won't be able to write. Oh, geez, what am I going to do? So I get on the plane, and I sit down, and the woman comes to the aisle in front of me. She sits in front of me, and I tap her on the shoulder, and I said, hey, I'll give you $20 not to move your seat back until my battery dies. And she goes, oh, no big deal, that's fine. I wasn't going to move my seat back. I said, are you sure I'll give you $20? No, it's fine. Now, I could have said, oh, geez, that's so weird. And, oh, I wonder what she'll think about me. Now, that woman could not pick me out in a room of one. I couldn't pick her out in a room of one. I don't know who she was. But I didn't care what she thought. I was maniacally focused. Okay? So, now, you see the difference here? I could say, oh, be maniacally focused about changing the world and riding across the country. But we just did maniacal focus on the DVD. Are you maniacally focused on, I want that? Okay? We need to be uncomfortable. We need to practice in small ways. We need to talk to the strangers we've never talked to. We need to walk into a room and say, hey, how are you? And we need to be that out of that comfort zone, because then the comfort zone expands, and then we step out a little bit more. But we're spending way too much going through drive-thrus, sitting on a couch, using the remote control, popping a pill instead of going to the exercise. Oh, we'll just take a diet pill. Right? We gotta be uncomfortable. We gotta get out there. Now, when your battle cry is loud and fabulous and you love it, because you don't have to love my battle cry, you just have to love your own, right? When you love it, you're maniacal, we don't care what other people think. This is what we're doing. We all know people like this, and you were all that person at one time. About something you just had to have and had to do. Okay? Now, when I came to California, I worked, so I did take the job at Cooper's and Lybrand, which is now PwC, and I loved it. I loved being out here, I loved it all, but then I realized the people in the law firm were making more money, and I needed to get into a law firm. And I discovered that Pillsbury-Madison Institute was the best and the biggest, and I was going to work there. So I went around and told everybody. So, I was at the gym, and I'm walking on the treadmill, and there's a woman standing next to me. She's walking on the treadmill, and she says, so, what do you do? I said, well, I work at an accounting firm right now, but I'm going to work at Pillsbury. And I just said it like that. Like, I don't need her permission. I don't care what she thinks of me. I'm going to work at Pillsbury. And she said, I'm a secretary at Pillsbury for 30 years. I said, really? I have my resume right here. That's the kind of different you need to be. When I was in law school, I wanted a job that everyone was trying to get. And I actually sent my resume in a box with a baseball and said, hiring me would be a home run. Cheese ball is really what it said, but they called me and I got the job. on his resume. Oh my God, who does that? And he said with a note, this is who I'm working for. This is my family. I'm working hard for them, and I want you to know that. Guess what? His resume made it to the top of the pile. They talked about him a lot, and they hired him. Why? Because let me think really hard. He was different than everybody else, okay? We need to be different. We need to stand out. We need to be uncomfortable, and people will reject you. They rejected me. 5 to 7 years experience you need. Okay? People will reject you, but somebody won't. Okay? And even when they reject you, you'll learn something and you'll course correct and you'll do something else. You'll try something else. But we need to be different. That's where remarkable comes from. Everyone else does the same thing. This is what a resume looks like. Right? Okay, I want you to write down what's one thing you could do different. I even think you all standing up here saying, hey, I'm looking for this. That's great. I think all of you should be lined up. I think it should take too long. I think they should go, we can't have this many people stand up. I think you should all be standing up going, I'm looking for this. Because you're putting yourselves out there saying, this is what I want. Okay? You should be doing that all the time. Here's who I am, here's what I want. I saw a resume recently. Some guy put his resume in the format of a nutrition label. Right? I thought that was so cool. It was like integrity, 100%. Commitment, 100%. It was just such a clever idea. Because it's different. All right? Okay, so write down something. What could you do that would be uncomfortable? Again, it's not comparison to other people. It's for you. If standing up here, if that's uncomfortable, say that. If talking to the person next to you saying, hey, I'd like to have this job, do you know anybody? Do that. It's got to be your comfort zone, and then you'll expand it, and then you'll create a new comfort zone. Right? So write down something. What could be uncomfortable for you? All right, I want you to turn to a partner, and I want you to share, because we're going to start our uncomfortable right now. And I want you to be uncomfortable talking to the person next to you. Now, if you know this person really well, and you're like BFFs, and you sit next to each other all the time, every time you come here, don't talk to them. Okay? Be uncomfortable and turn yourself around. Stand up and turn to the person behind you. Be uncomfortable, but do it now. Talk to the person next to you. What could you do that's just different, uncomfortable right now? Okay? Go. to take my jacket off. Sorry for the informality. Second of all, Bob here. Did you notice what Bob did? First of all, turned around and talked to people beside him. Then he came up and talked to me. Who was that? And then he walked across the aisle and said, "Hey, I haven't met you," and talked to him over there. Yeah. And then he was too low, so he bent down. Why? Because he was committed to talking in that moment, being uncomfortable. Right? Sometimes we go, "Oh, she's telling me to do something." Okay, and we don't even turn our bodies. Right? Like, we gotta like be uncomfortable physically and emotionally. We just gotta get out there. Right? Stop caring what everybody thinks of you. Here's the secret. They're worried what you think of them. Let me say it again. They're worried what you think of them. It's like the biggest joke. You're like, "Oh my gosh, and they're going, "Oh, I wonder what she thinks." Oh, yes.
You enjoy dancing much more when you don't give a darn when anyone
Yes,
thinks.
it's true. You enjoy dancing when you don't care. And we enjoy watching you dance that way. Because it's no fun watching you go. All right, yes.
Before you get off that point,
Yes.
so you're talking about this Bob?
Bob, here, yes?
Yeah, that's Bob. I know Bob.
Yes, right? It's so true. Yes, this Bob. Yes, it's so true. It's like we gotta just step out there and be uncomfortable. And you know what else? Here's the secret too: is you will inspire other people when you do that. Right? So now Bob comes running up and does it because he really wants it. That Bob. Guess what? Next time something like that happens, you're gonna be the one who runs up because you go, "Bob did it. I'm gonna do it."
Not if I get there first.
Don't be in the same room where somebody tripped Bob, and then you'll be first. And then you watch Bob here come over and talk to, what's your name?
My name's Joe.
Joe. You come over and talk to Joe, and you'll go, "Oh, yeah, I can do that next time too. I will step up and walk across the aisle and meet somebody else." Okay, so we actually inspire each other when we do these things too. Okay?
And
Yes.
I had a girlfriend that got me past this particular situation by telling me, "How can you be so conceited to think they're even thinking about it?"
They don't care! They don't care! They're worried about themselves. The first time I spoke on stage, I was a corporate attorney. I did contracts, every single comma counted, and so I wrote it all out, and I stood there, and I read, and I looked up, make sure everyone was alive, and I went back, and I kept reading. And I thought, "Oh, that's not very impactful, and that's not how speakers speak." So I decided I'm going to just get out there. I'm going to get out from behind the podium, and I'm going to start telling stories. So my very first speech, it is on video too, I walked out like this, and I put two fingers here, and I started talking, and I was telling some story about something, and I was going this way, and I never let go. I never let go of that podium, but nobody came up and said, "Oh, you look so stupid hanging onto the podium." They were all, one, so glad that I was up there and they weren't, and two, all they remembered was my story.
Yeah.
They didn't go, "Oh, that was really stupid, Ian." Okay? All right, so we got to be uncomfortable in many ways. And then, thank you for applauding Bob here for being uncomfortable. That's what we got to do. Okay, you ready for the next one? The next one is bounce. B-O-U-N-C-E, bounce.
Tigger.
What?
Tigger.
Because you know what? You're going to be uncomfortable when someone's go, "Bob, that was so stupid." Or, "Oh, Bob, don't ever do that again." Or, "Oh, but people are going to do whatever they're going to do. You're going to fail. Something's not going to work." But it's not what happens, it's what we do next. Okay? We need to bounce. We need to go, "What can I do?" I also like to call this, we need to respond, not just react. Okay? We can react, we all do. We get upset. I cry. I'm also a good Irish Catholic, so I get defensive. And then I start hating you more than you hate me. And then I talk about you behind the back. No, just kidding. But like, this is what we do when we get defensive, right? Like, "Oh, don't criticize me." But we need to respond. Like, what are we going to do next? That's the key. That's the resilience. No matter what happens, we need to bounce. Because I got to tell you, the ride looked really good, right?
Yeah.
Things happened on that ride, okay? Things happened. Things happened on my up the coast ride. My driver actually drove the RV into a bridge that said, this is 9 feet tall, and the RV was 11. My air conditioner was on the ground, okay? Things happen. It does not all look so pretty and roses as they make it look on the news and in the videos, okay? Things happen, but you go, all right, what am I gonna do next? That's all it is. What am I gonna do next? Now let me tell you, let me do the epilogue of the Pillsbury story. So, hand my resume to Virginia Ross. I hope she is retired well right now. She takes my resume in and I start interviewing. And I interviewed everybody. 4 months they kept bringing me back, and I fell in love. If you could love lawyers, I was in love. I still am in love with them today. I loved lawyers so much. And I wanted to be part of this tribe. More than anything, I thought Pillsbury was my home. And, but now I also was a year and a half out of law school, so I said to them, I want to come in as a second year. Because I didn't want to spend another year on my way to partnership, I wanted to come in as a second year, so I'd make that unreasonable request. So I said a second year, and after 4 months, Christmas Eve, oh, I should also say one of the partners wrote me a note, like handwritten note at home, how great it was to meet me. I mean, I'm thinking, I was almost ready to go out and get the embroidered, I work with Pillsbury shirts, right? Like, yay. So I go home for Christmas, and I get a call on Christmas Eve from the HR person who said, I'm so sorry, but unfortunately we won't be able to offer you a job. And I cried. I was so upset. I was ready to join the tribe. And they said no. So I cried, and I was upset, and then I was mad at them, and then I thought, all right, what am I going to do next, right? That's what's next. What are you going to do next? So I did a couple of things. I thought, all right, I am so maniacally focused on working for a law firm, I'm going to start doing that search again. And so I did my letters and my resumes and reached out to more people who knew others so I could get into some more interviews. And then I thought to myself, in one of those remarkable moxie, who did you think you were, Anne, kind of moments. We've all had those. And I said, I am not done with Pillsbury. So I wrote a letter to Pillsbury, just like I did in the Employment Weekly. And I said, I loved meeting you all. I know you think I don't have enough experience, but here are the 15 ways that I'm going to get that experience, and then I'm going to come back and work for you. And I made it up, and I said, I'll take more classes, I'll work for other firms, and then I'll come back. And I said, and I'll even offer to work for you for free for 3 months, so you know what you're missing. And, I mean, what did I have to lose, right? And, I mean, you know, these people who say, oh, I couldn't possibly work for free. I'm thinking, you're working for free now. For yourself, for free. I mean, like, what did I have to lose? I was maniacally focused. I wanted to be part of this tribe. So I mailed this letter off, and about 2 weeks later, I get a call from the managing partner, Jorge. It's kind of like Madonna. Jorge and Valerie. So Jorge's secretary gives me a call and says, hey, Jorge would like to meet you for breakfast at Buck's, when it was in the heyday, I guess. So I said, all right, consolation prize, I'll go. So I show up at Buck's, and he brings in this other associate with him, and we sit down, and Jorge's like right to the punches kind of person, and he said, I got your letter, and obviously we made a mistake, and we'd like to offer you a job. I mean, no, it didn't have to turn out that way, and I'm not telling you that's the way to get a job, but what did I do? I was different, right? I didn't say, okay, thanks, and I moved on. I said, hey, do you have any idea what you're missing? Like, I want to work there, and I'm so committed. Here are the things I'm going to do to make sure that I join that firm. And that I was different, and the firm's different. They wanted something like that. And it was, to this day, the best place I worked. I loved it. Worked my butt off. But I'm still friends with these people. I loved it. So, again, it's not always the answer. It's not always the, wow, it's a foolproof way. But how could you be uncomfortable? How could you bounce? How could you stand out? Right? So you have to think, no matter what happens to you, what are you going to do next? Right? What are you going to do next? All right. Oh, wait, here's another secret I love. We need to lower our expectations, okay, and raise our aspirations, okay? Because we get thrown off our course so easily. We think it's supposed to happen this way and it doesn't. We go, oh, jeez. We need to lower our expectations but raise our aspirations. And then we can bounce more. Okay, great, it didn't happen this way. Great, it's going to happen this way. But I'm still aiming high. All right, number five, clap loudly. Clap loudly. We need to clap loudly. We need to celebrate our wins. We need to put it out there. We need to be excited about ourselves and our successes and others. Because we spend way too much time focused on all the things that don't quite go right, don't we? Let me tell you all the ways that it didn't happen the way I thought it was going to happen. Now, I'm riding through Wayne, Ohio. Has anyone ever been to Wayne, Ohio? I'm shocked. Okay, you've been to Wayne, Ohio? Okay, let me like paint the picture for you. Riding, if you blink, you miss it. There's like 2 streets called Central and Main, and there's like 4 buildings, and they're brick, and there's probably 10 people in town, they all know each other. So, I mean, it's really tiny, but it's a sweet little town, and I'm riding, and all of a sudden I'm in Central and Main, and there's a brick building, and on the side it says, "Welcome to Wayne, Ohio, home of 842 nice people, and 1 sorehead." Ken Brooks. They named him. I was feeling so bad for Ken Brooks. I mean, I'm telling you, like all these emotions went through me, and I was thinking, oh my gosh. So I had to get on my bike, I had to talk to people, like, oh my gosh, is Ken Brooks the sorehead? Oh yeah, I go, does Ken Brooks know? Like, did he see that yet? Thinking like they just finished this, oh my gosh. And she said, oh yeah. In fact, you can go to the post office right now and nominate next year's sorehead. It was the prize place to have your name. I promise you, Ken Brooks is telling that story a lot. Right? He's telling that story to everybody. You'll never believe when I got in town, I was the sorehead. My name was on the building for a whole year. My stepdaughter, I taught her how to ride a bike in the house, and it was raining outside that day, so we had to bounce, right? We had to do something else, so we cleared the furniture and we rode our bikes. And she rode first, and my stepson was older than her, and I taught him how to ride a bike when he was 11. So she's 8, he's 11. I'm teaching him for the first time in this park. He's going down this hill. It was just such a highlight of our day. I mean, oh my gosh, he's riding a bike. And meanwhile, my stepdaughter is all around the park riding and riding and riding. And we're cheering for Jack. We're like, oh my gosh, you're so great. Oh, this woohoo, we're just cheering, crying. He's riding a bike. It's amazing. And about 20 minutes into this, my stepdaughter, Carly, comes riding over to me, and she goes, can I get some woohoos? Enough! Cheer for me already, because I'm riding my bike pretty darn good. Now, why don't we walk up to the people and say, hey, Brian, can I get some woohoos here? Did you see what I just did? Woohoo for me, right? We don't do that enough, do we? We need some more woohoos, don't we? Woohoos! It's like, what's your name?
Wayne.
Wayne. Okay, it's like Wayne goes, woohoo, Bob. Nice job, right? That's the kind of thing. We need to woohoo each other and ourselves far more than we do. Because we walk around with the, oh, but did you see all the things that didn't work? Instead of the, oh, I made that phone call yesterday. Oh my God, I sent that resume out. Oh my God, I got connected yesterday. I was uncomfortable, I did something. We need more of that. I want you to take an inventory of all the great things you've done in your life. Go back to age 12 if you have to. I don't actually care. You haven't changed. Life has come upon you, but you haven't changed. You're still the same remarkable person. You've done great things. That sailing to Hawaii should be on that list. right? Like, here are all the great things that I've made happen. Your resume should be one big woo-hoo. You know, it's funny, my friend, she was all upset at work. There was so much political drama, all this stuff going on. I said, you know what's amazing? All this stuff that you're talking about, all the drama and the heartache and all that, it's a bullet on a resume. I go, all the stuff you're doing right now shows up as one bullet. Manage the team. I go, we don't put on a resume, worked all night, had to deal with Sally and her drama. We don't put that, we go, manage the team. So you better start having some fun and putting more of your woohoos on there, because dealing with political drama and all that is not showing up on that resume. So your resume should be a woohoo. If you do any sort of, like, you should have a portfolio, right, of all your great ways that you've done brand management in the past. I mean, you and tell stories. You think I come up here for you all? I come up here because I go, I gotta remind myself all those great things I've done. Because I'm just like you. I walk into my office and go, okay, I'm gonna slug it out for another day. We all do that. So you know what's in my office? The biggest check I ever wrote is in a frame. Picture of me skydiving is in a frame. Picture of me, I got tons of pictures of the bike rides I've done. Because I want to walk in and go, yeah, I am just that great. Okay. Right? I mean, because we're by ourselves so much, we don't always have a woohooer. So we have to do it ourselves. We got to go, yep, that's me. I did all that. Excellent. As opposed to, oh yeah, I got another rejection yesterday, gosh. Okay? We need the woohoos. We need to celebrate those successes. We need to constantly woohoo each other. All right? All right, last one. Oh, and also, you should be reviewing all this before you walk into any interview. Before you pick up that phone, you should look at all how great you are. Like all the things you've done. Like, yeah, they're missing out if they don't talk to me. Like, it's a disservice if I don't call them. Right? I have a win file at home. Every time someone writes me a card, a thank you, a certificate, I put it in there because I want to open it up and have the whole thing go, yay, Ann! Okay? Because I got too much of the, oh, boo, I don't need that. I need the yay! All right, last one. Ready? Go 15 miles at a time. Go 15 miles at a time. That's exactly how I did a bike ride. I didn't wake up every morning and go, ooh, geez, 4,000 more miles to go. I didn't even say, okay, we're doing 70 miles today. I didn't do that. Every day I'd wake up and I'd go, okay, Justin, meet you in 15 miles. And every 15 miles, I ate something. That was it. I got to eat something every 15 miles. I'm like, okay, going 15 miles and I get to eat. Okay? Big goals, small bites. Okay? Big goals, small bites. 15 miles at a time. In fact, there was one point I went in Missouri and I actually thought to myself, gosh, this is so easy. Anybody could do this. Like, that's how you want your life to be like, oh, this is so easy. I'm surprised more people don't do this. Like, wow, I'm just so great. It's like, anybody can do this. That's how you want to look to the rest of the world, too. Like, wow, they just made it look so easy. 15 miles at a time. So here's what I want you to do. Any big someday, any big goal, anything, you write down all the things that need to be done. And every day you just pull one of them off the list. You don't open your calendar and go, Wednesday, 2 p.m., change careers. You don't do that. Right? Thursday, 4 p.m., get degree. That doesn't happen. It's a big goal, and you go, Wednesday, 4 p.m., fill out application. Okay? Wednesday, 2 p.m., call person. Right? I mean, you just have to break that down. But you've done that already. You've got degrees, you've got jobs, you've raised kids, you've done all that little bit at a time. Okay? You've already done that. All right, so I'm going to end with a story about a man named Cliff Young. Cliff Young is one of my idols, and he was a sheep farmer in Australia. Poor, no teeth, No tractors, they were so poor. He would go out there and he would herd the sheep on foot. About 61 years old, lived with his mom. And one day, he said to his mom, I'm going to run the ultramarathon. It was from Sydney to Melbourne. I'm going to run the ultramarathon. Now, how many of you are runners? Any runners in here? Okay. Has anyone done a marathon? Oh, nice. I hope that's on your list. Nice. The ultramarathon is crazy. I mean, it is an 875-kilometer run. Yeah. It is 875-kilometer run from Sydney to Melbourne. It goes on forever. 6 days. He shows up on the starting line with galoshes over his work boots, overalls, okay? And all the other 150 athletic greats, they look at him like he must be a publicity stunt. Who does this? They're all decked out, they're ready to go. And the gun goes off and he starts going. And he sort of does this shuffle, because you can't really run in galoshes on work boots, right? I mean, so he's sort of like shuffling along, and they take off. The rest of them just take off. And what happens with the ultramarathon is you run for, I think it's 14 hours, and you sleep for 8, something like that, okay? So you just run and run and run, and then you sleep. You run and run and run, and you sleep. Well, someone forgot to tell Cliff Young this, because he never slept. He just kept running. No one told him. He thought he was supposed to keep running, so he just kept running. And he won. The entire thing, he won! 10 hours ahead of anybody else.
Wow.
And he didn't know he was going to win. He didn't know any of this. And there was a $10,000 prize.
Yeah.
And he didn't know that either. So he said, oh, I don't know. Split it among the next 5 that come in. So he gave the money to them. And I mean, that's amazing, right? And he completely transformed the entire run. So now, today, when they do the ultramarathon, they shuffle. It's called the Cliff Young Shuffle. Because they've learned that actually you expend less energy. And they don't sleep. And I'm sure they cursed Cliff Young the entire way. But now Cliff didn't set out and go, Mom, I'm going to change the world today. I'm going to change that ultramarathon. He didn't do that. He'd say, Mom, what do you think? And his mom would go, oh, Cliff, you can't run an ultramarathon. You've seen yourself. She didn't do that. She probably said, Cliff, you can do anything you want. That's probably what she said. He probably said, yeah, I'm going to try this. It sounds fun. I need something new in my life. Okay, he ran marathons until he died at 83. He just kept running, doing different things. That's the kind of remarkable that you want. You can create that any day you want. He was 61 years old. Just pull that off the shelf and say, hey, I'll try this today. Okay, that's what you can do. All right, I'm going to end with a quote, a Steve Jobs quote. I could only wish I'd written it myself. He says, your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary. Isn't that true? All right. So I am just overjoyed to have spent this time with you, and I want to invite you, if you want anything from me, free or not, I want you to rip that yellow sheet off. I want you to tell me what you liked about me, because I don't really care what you don't like about me. And don't tell me that, I don't care. I want you to tell me what you liked, check off any boxes that you want. I'm going to change something slightly on there. If you do buy any sort of books, I didn't bring books with me, but if you do want to buy a book, I will throw in a DVD, okay? I'll throw that in. So that's just there for you. So fill that out, and then we'll collect them. I have 3 books, and I'd love to give them away, because I would love for you to have them, and I don't want to take them home. How about that? And while you're filling that out, does anyone have any questions, anything you are dying to know? Yes?
What's your husband like?
What's my husband like? Pales in comparison, my friend. Let me tell you. I'm just kidding. You know what my husband is? He is the biggest yay sayer ever. And I mean, next summer, this coming summer in August, I'm riding from Washington down to Mexico, so Canada, Mexico, the West Coast. And you know, he just kind of, I had this big map on my office wall with all the stars of places I've ridden, and he doesn't ever balk. He goes, that sounds great, we need some more stars on that map. And I mean, that's the kind of person you want, right? Like, more stars on that map.
Whatever you want.
Well, but not me too, I mean, not out of like, whatever you want, honey, but kind of like, you know, yeah, we need some more stars on that map. Because that's just the kind of person. Now, I got married at 38, so I was like, I said, you know, a no to a lot. I was like, no, you people are ridiculous. I waited until I got the right person, but that was just me. I wanted a yay sayer. I wanted to be married to a yay sayer. And what else is nice too is when I'm not, he is, so we kind of balance each other.
What brought you from California to New Jersey?
Him!
Oh.
He brought me there because my stepkids are there.
Oh.
So we moved there so I can be with them. If anyone, is anyone else a step-parent here?
I have been.
You have been?
I have been.
I gotta tell you, I love being a step-parent.
That was horrible.
Hers was horrible, oh no! I thought it was, I think it's so great, because you get to influence other people, but then not be responsible for them. It was wonderful. They think I'm so great, so I see them every 2 weeks and they come right in, oh, they like hug me, like, oh my God. I'm like, yes. Someone else, yes?
You're obviously a morning person. What time do you go to bed?
I like to go to bed at 9. I love to get in bed. I love to go to bed early. But I do get up early because if you're a biker, you gotta get out before the cars. And I wasn't that thrilled about going to New Jersey, you know, coming from here. But I found the one thing that I love is I can watch the sun rise over the ocean. It doesn't do that here, right? So there, it rises over the ocean, and we ride at 5. I get up at 5, walk it up, and I ride at 6, and we go to the ocean and we watch the sunrise. But I do like to get up early. No, I should change it. I hate getting up early. Okay, let me be very clear. I hate getting up early. I love to be up early, okay? Because it's like, it's my day, right? So, yeah, so I'm like you. I know, oh, geez, I gotta get up. And here's the other thing. At night, I think to myself, what am I gonna be excited about tomorrow? Okay? Do that before you go to bed. What am I gonna be excited about? What am I gonna work on? Okay, and then you go, all right, I'm getting up because I get to go watch the sunrise. That's what I do. Okay, so pass those yellow sheets into the aisle here. We'll collect them. Yes?
Yes, so I want one of the free copies of your book.
You want what?
One of the free copies of your book.
I love that.
Okay.
I love that. Thank you for saying that. You Okay, the question was, which book is the best one for a job seeker? Okay, and I will tell you, this is my favorite book of all time. It's called Life Moxie. It is all about like just the chutzpah it takes to do anything you want. If you are a manager of any sort, my manager book, I just love because it's all about how to be the manager that you want to work for. So. It depends on what you do. Oh yeah, it is. It's the first one. It's 9 strategies for taking. It's just ambition on a mission. Sorry. I know, it says Life Moxie really big, but it's ambition on a mission. It's the first one. Okay, other questions? Anything? Turn the sheets in. Let's pull. And I have cards up here. And I love you guys. Thank you so much for having me.